A panel discussion was held yesterday in occasion of the Restitution festival, where several artifacts looted from Sri Lanka during the Dutch occupation were returned back to the National Museum of Sri Lanka. The panel discussion included Ambassador for International Cultural Cooperation of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Netherlands, Head of the History Department of Rijksmuseum, Egyptian Ambassador to Sri Lanka, and other members representing the National Museum of World Cultures.
If you look at all your museums, there is enough stuff that you have which you can share with us. Our people want to also see what they achieved at that time. I'm not talking about the past, but for the present, they still would have some pride in what they had. I think this is very important. So that's where we would like you to help in a way to get us that pride back by giving us some of our stuff. You have given us 6, but I'm sure you have a lot more.
Discussions were held on the history of the items returned, ideas behind the return process, what museums do in this era of giving cultural heritages back, and diplomatic and cultural relations between the two nations.
Now Sri Lanka has its own restitution committee. So anything you think about that you want back, go and speak to the restitution committee. This is what we needed to be able to work on this in a more constructive way. What we are working on from the Netherlands side is that in the next few years there's money from the government to be able to do more research.
Having this political debate internationally, regionally, between Sri Lanka and Netherlands and other countries in the UN, in UNESCO, this is very important, the political debate about colonialism. When it comes to the cultural objects, we need to have these conferences with the civic society in London, in the Netherlands, in Paris, in Germany. So yes, having the conferences in these capitals is very important, to bring it to life, to build on this brave decision by the Netherlands.
If the Sri Lankan government can negotiate with the Netherlands government and the Rijksmuseum and other European institutions where Sri Lankan objects are being held, we can probably have a multi-country collaboration to train our conservators, train those who are doing interpretation, curators. Therefore, that is an area that we really need to improve.
Ambassador for International Cultural Cooperation of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Netherlands, also spoke at the event.
What is also next is how do we further engage with the larger public that is going to be engaging with these objects. I know that our embassy is organizing a series of public talks. I think you will also be involved. So I think there's a lot of concrete work that we will take up and I'm really looking forward also to that.
The aim of the Restitution Festival panel discussion was to introduce important moments in the global discussion about giving things back, which might help discussions in Sri Lankan museums and heritage areas.